So welcome back, guys. Now in this video I'll be showing you guys how to add more than 2 characters in your Plotagon scene, and also I'll show you guys how to make your characters work as well. So let's get right into it. So remember, we're talking about Jane Doe and the Doctor, but then we want to add more than 1 character into the scene. So what do we do? What do you think can happen? How can we add more than 1 character, more than 2 characters in this scene? Well, it's very simple. It's a simple technique that all you just have to do is just be creative. When you're using Plotagon, based on its limitations, all you have to do is be creative with whatever you're creating. So now, the scene is the doctor's office. Remember, that is the scene. This is it, doctor's office. So what we have to do is to duplicate the scene. We have to use another scene. So we go to scene again, and then we have to find that same scene, which is doctor's office. So we have that here. It's currently in video, so just click on it again. And now we want to bring in someone else right into the video. So let's say this person. Now I want to add, okay, not Sammy. So let's say we want to add this lady, Faye. Let's add this lady. And remember, we add Dr. Lee again. So we can either add Dr. Lee or we add Jane Doe back to the scene. So well, let's add Dr. Lee. So maybe Dr. Lee will talk to Faye why and on how Jane Doe contracted COVID-19. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like Dr. Lee would look at Faye now that let's say Faye accompanied Jane Doe to the hospital for the checkup and everything. So that's what we have to do now. So we have to put this on. Let's say she's at the door. Not at the door. Okay, let's put her at the door. Where should we put her? I don't want to put her close to where Jane Doe is, so it won't look contradicting. So let's put her at the door. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's put her on the chair. Let's put Faye on the chair. So having put Faye on the chair, let's go back to put this lady Jane Doe. Let's put her on the bed, the checkup bed. So it would look like Doctor turned back from looking at her here and faced this lady Faye at the other side. So let's put her on the bed. Now you see, when I put Jane Doe on the bed, the actions was not working again. Like it got deactivated because she's sitting on the bed and she's not close enough to the doctor. So it got deactivated. So this one is not going to show when I play this video. It's just going to skip and it's going to keep on showing here. This is going to show same thing happened here. So it's not going to show anymore. See what's saying? Target is too far away. So do you guys understand that right now? That's why this got deactivated again, because Jane Doe is now sitting on the bed. But since you guys understand how to make this how to make this get activated is by getting them closer to each other, then there's no problem. Let's move on with the video. So now Dr. Lee would be facing Jane Doe right here, and then our friend Faye is on the chair. So but we don't want this to show. Because we don't want our audience to do that. Where the hell is Jane Doe? Why is she not on the bed anymore? So we have to work with our camera angle. So all we just have to do is maybe let's use this. Okay, from middle left to visitor's chair. So we want the doctor to look at this girl, at Faye, instead of and backing Jane Doe. So we won't have to see Jane Doe in this scene at all, but she's going to be in the scene, but we won't have to see her. So because we don't want our audience to know that it's just 2 persons that are meant to be in a Plotagon scene. So it's just being creative basically. So now let's make both of them have a discussion, right? Let's say she's asking you, or let's use something saying you how related are you guys? Okay. So now Dr. Lee is asking this lady here that how related are you guys, right? So we can put this in our camera angle again. Let's not make it dialogue mode because we are going to be seeing the back and we don't want the back to show. So let's see wide shots. Okay, wide shots, no. Moving left. Still. Or if you feel you can't get the possible camera angle to work with, then you can just simply off this and then to just be like this normally. So I didn't see any good camera angle to work with there, so that's why I just decided to off this. And let's move on to Faye answering the questions. So now we can pick an emotion for Faye. Let's say she hands up that she doesn't know anything about, that she's not so related to her or something. She's not so related to gender. So Faye saying, I don't even know her, I'm just a good Samaritan that wanted help. So with her hands up, that is her emotion at that moment. Now she can even say, she can go on to say something else. So we can say, does that mean I have the virus too? And then another emotion, afraid or something. So now Dr. Faye can reply saying, no, you don't have the virus, or you have a possible chance of you getting the virus and all of that. So that is Dr. Lee talking to Faye in the same scene. Now we want to direct this girl Faye to talk to Jane Doe, maybe accusing her of giving her the virus or stuff like that. Do you understand? So I want these three characters to all talk to each other. We've had Dr. Lee and Jane Doe have a conversation. Now we've had Dr. Lee and Faye also have a conversation. Now we want Faye and Jane Doe to have another conversation. So we still do the same thing and then create another scene, the same scene, doctor's office. Now this scene, it will just be Faye and Jane Doe in this scene. So you can put both of them on the bed. But sorry, something I forgot to tell you guys is, if you are trying to do this, like trying to add more than two characters in the same scene, when you duplicate the scenes, don't add establishing shots. Don't ever add establishing shots, because once you add establishing shots, it would Alright, so yeah, you want to allow establishing shots. All you have to do is either skip establishing shots, or you can use these ones here. So but for this one, let's skip establishing shot and just let it know, does that mean I have the virus too? And then let her just talk to Jane Doe immediately. So if you look at this now, I said Faye was accusing Jane Doe right now of, you had this virus and couldn't warn me. Then another emotion here, which is maybe angry, enraged, saying you are cruel. So remember what I told you guys about working with your emotions, using different emotions to make your characters look real as possible. So that is it. You don't want to just use accusing at the same time, saying you had this virus and couldn't warn me, you are cruel. No, naturally everyone will be angry at such, so that's why I made it in another slide. So let's say this girl would be afraid or ashamed. Okay, ashamed. Now let's put that in the middle of this. So can you see she's ashamed when this one accused her of having the virus and no warning her, and then this one saying you're cruel. Another emotion. So working with Plotagon, basically it all just comes down to the way you are creative, the way you work with this the way you work with the emotions, the way you work with the camera angles, adding everything, make sure they are all in place like a normal Disney production or a world-class production. Plotagon is very, very limited. It's not the best animations website you can get out there. Better animation websites, you have to pay to get access to them. But Plotagon is also very, very cool if you know what you're doing, if you know how to be creative. So now let's play this whole scene and see how it turns out. Alright, so from where Jane Doe comes to the hospital.
Good day.
Alright, so looking at this now, this was establishing shots. So I don't want, and this girl is not there. We don't want this girl is not there, Faye is not there, so we have to change that. So that's why you need to test every scene you used. That's why you also need to have a script, so you know exactly where you want your characters to be at that point in time, and how you want them to be. So now we just found out that Faye is not here, and we've used establishing shots, and we can't skip establishing shots because this is a new scene that is different from what is happening up here. What happened up here was this guy saying his maths, his brother work and everything. So this is an entirely different scene, and we don't want to just use establishing shot like that. Do you guys understand? Except if you want to use establishing shots here, what can allow us to if you want to skip the establishing shot here, it will be best for us to add a backdrop before the scene comes to play. So that way we can establish shots with the backdrop and then skip established shots to just come here directly. So you guys understand that. But if we were to now add the backdrop at this point, here, because the backdrop will have to be behind this scene for it to go with this scene. The backdrop will have to be behind this scene. So to do that, you have to just come down and click on scene again and add that backdrop scene. But you see, that's why you don't want to go so far. You don't want to create many more scenes before you remember that, oh, you have to still edit one other scene. So once you create a scene and a slide, make sure you know that, okay, this scene is good enough, it's very, very good, before you go to the next scene. Make sure that one is also very good before you go to the next scene, because of you editing and all of that, so that you won't have problems with that later on. Do you guys understand this? Once you create this scene, we had already construct that scene initially, and I've seen that, okay, yeah, we need to remove this. We don't want we want to use skipping establishing shot at this point. Then we would have known that, okay, yes, let's add a backdrop here earlier on, instead of us now coming all the way down here to create another backdrop and now moving it up. It's very, very easy to do. So, but I'm not going to add any backdrop right now. I'm just going to look for a way to work with the camera angles. So since we can't skip establishing shots, let's try something different. Okay, from middle left to bed. Alright, so it's cool now. Faye is not in the initial scene. Alright, so we can play this and see how it all turns out.
Good day, Miss Jane. How may I help you? I have something on my mind, doctor. I think I have COVID-19. How related are you guys? I don't even know her. I'm just a good Samaritan that wanted to help. Does that mean I have the virus too? You had this virus and couldn't warn me. You are cruel.
Alright, there was something I saw in the scene of Dr. Lee and Faye talking. If you guys noticed that too, you would understand that it was blocked. We couldn't see Faye reactions to Dr. Lee asking her questions. So what do we do there? Let's see. Then let's just use dialogue mode. Alright, so it's cool like that. So remember what happened here? I had to skip establishing shot. I haven't noticed that, okay, it's taking too long to continue, since they're having a conversation. I don't want to just hold back and then before they now talk. No, they just have to talk. So let's come from here.
I think I have COVID-19. How related are you guys? I don't even know her. I'm just a good Samaritan that wanted to help. Does that mean I have the virus too? You had this virus and couldn't warn me. You are cruel.
Alright, now I think that is very nice, very nice. So I've seen many people create Plotagon videos, Plotagon movies, and they just create nonsense, and they don't know how to work with all this the lags. They have many lags in their video. So here now, when you export this entire video, when you export it to your editing app, you can now all these scenes that are taking so long to, like, if it's just meant to show in a quick format, and then
you had this virus and couldn't warn me.
You see how long this
you
is
are
taking.
cruel.
So let's say you have an editing app. What you can just do is just cut out the small portion of this part, so it's just going to be a small portion that's going to play, not the whole scene. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying about this, but maybe when we go to the editing part after working on the Plotagon studio generally, then I will explain better about these lags and everything. So there are different lags that you can see, like that. There was a lag here. I don't know where else there was a lag, but there are some lags in this video too that you can see. So all that will be taken care of in your editing software or your editing app. Alright, this is sounding board, so I'm going to use the same music, this music that we used for this guy here. I'm going to add it down. I'm just going to move it down. So you can see this is very strenuous. Like, you have to start dropping it down one by one. But if you are using your smartphone, I think you can drop it down faster. So finally, I've been able to put the music down here. Very ethic stuff. So, or I could have simply add a new music there and do all of that, but then I want to use that same music. Well, let's play it. I just wanted to show you that how ethic it can be if you fail to edit a scene before moving on to another scene. You would have to start moving it one by one, like I had to do. But just that I couldn't have created check my way around it, because I know how to do that, but I don't want to show you guys how long that can take. So don't make that mistake. Right, so let's play. Since the music is all in now, let's hear.
Good day, Miss Jane. How may I help you? I have something on my mind, doctor.
Okay guys, the music is a bit loud than it should be. It's louder than normal, so we can simply reduce the music so it's not going to be louder than it should be. Alright, so I think we've covered adding more than one character to a scene. I could go on to add another character to this scene. I could go on to add 4 characters, I can add 5 characters, I can add 6, I can add more and more characters in this scene. So there is no limit to the amount of characters I can add to this scene, but it's just that if you keep adding more characters, like if you keep adding like 5 characters or 6 characters to one particular scene, you might end up having a bad camera angles, and people would notice that okay, these people are not actually in some places, or it's a bit shady. So you can just work with max 4 characters in a scene or 5 characters in a scene. Don't go more than that. Alright, the next thing is to make our characters work, and in another video I'll show you guys how to make your characters work.